All right, hello everyone. My name is Augie. If this is the first time here, welcome. I'm going to be going over the F1 Rudders. Yeah, I am so tongue-tied. It's Friday. So this is a new system that they ended up getting back in December. I'm one of 50 that got it in the United States. So I was trying to look for video, couldn't find anything. So I thought I'd bring it out to you guys, let you see it. If I make any mistakes, Tony and their team said that they will be willing to help out and be able to give me the correct input and everything like that. So that way you guys get the correct information. I am not an aviator. Let's get that straight out. I am a grunt. I am a ground pounder, infantry at heart. But I always had a passion for flying either the Apache or the Black Hawk. I just never went that way because I loved the job that I was doing on the ground. Every day you get to beat somebody's butt and be happy about it. So anyway, the rudder system, when you get it, it's in a box. Congratulations. I unboxed all that for you. You ain't got to look at that stupid video. All right. But the footrest, you got 5.5 inches by 6.5 inches. So that way you have plenty of space to put your big fat foot in there. You can wear boots and still fit in this thing. Okay. That's how wide this is. You can see my hand. I ain't got a big hand, but if you really want to see dimensions, there it is, 5.5. And of course, 6.5. Almost 7. 6 3/4. But they're huge. 4 sets of holes. You can put on any of the 2 sets that you want. And the 4 screws are in here. They use these screws that come with it, which is good, and it uses a 2.5 millimeter Allen wrench that goes in. When you're putting these in, I recommend 2 things. 1, put blue Loctite, not red, not pink, not orange, any other color. But when you do it, turn it counterclockwise first to where you first meet that thread, where hear that little pop. That means it's setting in, and then of course you screw it in. Because like I said, these are threads, so if you end up stripping the thread, then you're going to have to get a longer screw from Lowe's or Home Depot, whatever, and then you're going to have to put a bolt on the back end to be able to hold it. So be careful with the screws that you don't cross thread it or anything like that. Okay. So back to the pedals. Of course, I got mine at a medium position compared to what I had with the Logitech, which I'm going to show you. This thing is so huge. Here's my Logitech. I'm going to put it up. And I'm going to match this one up over here. This one's not even matched up yet. Look how much width you have right there. So if you're one of those guys that like it wide, there it is right for you. It's almost half of the length of where it's at. And I'm going to show you this right now. You can hear all that plastic rattle, right? You hear all that stuff, right? Rattle, rattle, rattle. So we're getting rid of the plastic. We're upgrading. You don't hear nothing. Unless you slap it back. And that's just a spring coming back with the vibration on the ground. So, back onto the pedal part. So the pedals, of course, you can adjust by these 2 springs on both sides. You can adjust the force of the spring by moving that spring right there to the bottom end right here. If you want to adjust the distance of height and lower, you're going to loosen up this screw and the other screw behind it, and you're going to adjust it that way, either higher or lower, however you want. Okay, I'm leaving mine the same way because, like I said, I'm not a big pilot, so right now I'm going to go with what I got and I'm going to run through it. Now, I do have the dampering kit, but I'll go into that afterwards. Let's go back over here to the other parts. So it does come with an additional force spring. The force spring is right here. All you have to do is loosen up the tension from here. Pop that one off, pop this one off, and then replace it. This one is a stronger spring. If it's out, you'll be able to see it. It's about like that much taller or shorter, however you want to look at it. So that's right there. For the cams, you got 3 different cams. Right now is a level 2. I don't know the difference in the cams. Like I said, I'm not a big aviator. but I know the cams have to do something with the motion of it going left and right. That's the only thing I could think of. But you got 3 of them. So right now it's on the number 2, so it's the medium one. And the biggest thing, like everybody loved, was I call it in and out toe, because like I race also on my simulator. Not this one, but I got a separate one. And here's your in and out toe adjustment. So what you're gonna have to do if you want to use your in and out toe is you're gonna have to take off these 2 screws and these 2, and then replace this bracket with this one. This bracket right here only has a single hole, so when it's actually locked in, it's like about like so. You can't get all the way through because it's underneath, but it's something like this. But when you adjust it to the outside, look at the distance it just went. So you went from straight like this to a turn like that. So looking at it from the pedal perspective, it went from here to here. There's a slight little turn, but that little turn for many people is probably really good, because especially if you get big guys that have it a little close up or too far out, they just want to relax their legs. This is what that's for. You can relax your legs, especially I hear people doing like 3-4 hour flights and stuff like that. Cool. But that's how you adjust that. All right, so we talked about that. We talked about the adjustments there. Just now, the dampering kit. I bought the dampering kit also. It's a separate piece. It comes with the parts. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to first adjust your damper so that it can go and line up right here and to the front end of it. When you do that, then I'll be able to do all that good stuff for you. Once it's aligned, then of course you just lock it down. You're going to have the, I put a washer on the inside, additional washer, and then I put the screw on here, and then of course I put the other screw at the bottom with the washer to be able to hold it in. One of the best things about this, it is quiet. I got my damper pretty tough right now. If you want to loosen it up, you can. Add it on 12. This is basically with it off. You can't hear anything. It's off, but it's on. It has a little bit of cushion to it. But even when it was off, that spring, you couldn't hear anything. This thing is so smooth. It's beautiful. But there are cons of everything. One of the cons that I found out was it didn't come with any of the screws to be able to mount into your rig. So I have a next level Flight Slim rig, and of course everybody that has one of those knows that you get tons and tons and tons of extra bolts. So these are the 1-inch bolt, and they will fit in 2 locations. I'm able to fit in those 2 as well as these 2. I can't get all 6. It's just like about a 1/2 inch or about 2 or 3 millimeters off, so I can't get it in all the locations. But for the majority of it, it can go in pretty well. So that's that. If you don't want to use the big base plate, you can still use the small base plate. On here, you can see the 4 screws right here. That's what's holding this big base plate on. The big base plate is you can have these little rubber, these little drummets, which are good for the hardwood floors and or carpet. Okay, so I put it on the carpet, I moved it around, it was tough to move, so it was pretty good. But the only problem I see is you have to use, if you use just the small base, you have to use it on something to cover this bottom. Because if you lay it on the ground, you're going to have these 4 screws on your wood, on your carpet, whatever the case may be. So make sure that if you use these 4 only, it goes into something that's going to protect your floor and ground, especially if you're like renting, you don't want to mess up your landlord's house and everything. Okay, so let's see, what else did I forget? I got the cam. So the cams, you're gonna have to unscrew here, change out the if you want to keep the top piece and everything, and then there's another screw in here somewhere. Yeah, oh, this one right here. So you loosen up your cam, then you can take it off and do what you got to do to it. Pedals, Like I said, nice, stiff, strong, smooth, quiet. So quiet. I love it. But like I said, the only other problem was these parts right here. So the next part that you're going to see is I'm going to have it up, and I'll go through the system on the Virpil website to get it activated, or not activated, but fine-tuned and all that kind of stuff. You do have the 2 locations for a USB and a additional out plug. I'm going to find out what that one is for. And it comes with 2 cords as well. So you have the USB and then the other auxiliary cord for you. So I don't know if it connects like with the, if you're doing a helicopter, the Virpil Collective. So if it does that, then great, fine, dandy, they all work together. But that's pretty much it, all in a nutshell. Try to keep it short and simple for you. If you have any questions, write it down below. Like I said, Virpil is going to also see the video. They're going to throw their input on it. And I have to say thank you to Tony. He was working at the desk and helped me out just as for like asking him how everything's going. And during that Christmas rush and everything, they ended up getting new people in, so they had to train them and everything like that, and then the parts and all that. But they also sent me a little coffee mug, so I appreciate that. Thanks a lot, Virpil and Tony. Cosmo, Spudruckers, who are some of these other guys I like? Grim Reaper. Let's see, who else was it? Yeah, Grim Reaper. Cosmos for sure. I got a bunch of you guys on here. I know. Thank you. All you aviators out there that I've watched and subscribed to, you guys want to influence me to fly and everything like that, and it is fun. I do it both in 3D and in hard eyes, naked eye, however you want to call it. So I have a lot of fun doing it, and I hope this helped out. Gives you a great idea of how it all works. I don't know if I ever mentioned it, but you got these 2 little rectangle parts right here. The ones on the right is going to be for your right foot. The one on the left is going to be for your left foot. And like I said, you can adjust left and right on those as well. Okay? So that's all I got for right now. Thank you very much, and I hope you all have a great day.